YBM on the thing up.
This is the development trait. Superstar and this is the abilities tab. Here you can see what abilities a player has.
Today, from Ford Field in Detroit, it's Week 3 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Detroit Lions taking on the Baltimore Ravens.
Downtown between Brush Street and I-375. That's where we're located in the heart of Detroit at Ford Field, which first opened back in 2002. Both teams emerging from the Ford Field tunnels just a short time ago. And, of course, the loudest cheers were reserved for the hometown Lions. They're set to go as they will match up with the Baltimore Ravens. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. It's an early test here after 2 losses to start the season, and a game they probably really need.
Obviously, no way do they want to get to 0-3. Not many teams make the playoffs with that kind of a start.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Ravens, it's been a great start to the season. Back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
2 weeks have come and gone. It's off to week 3, and we're underway on EA Sports. From a couple yards, and look at this. Right away, a loose football, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. James Prochet, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Ravens have taken the early lead.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now, you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. And the Ravens lead at 7-0. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback who played for the Nevada Wolfpack in college. It's Colin Kaepernick.
And I saw that he had an interesting quote in the research packet that we had after last week's game. It's all on me now. I've got to lead my team and find a way for us to win a game. 0-2, but they're at home. I guess he's going to try and find a way to get the home crowd involved early.
First carry for DeAndre Swift. And right away, they're going to stack him up right at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the game's first play. And it's 2nd down now. Well, this defense for the Ravens, very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the turnovers this team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope he'll recover.
Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
On 3rd and long, it's Kaepernick. He'll drop this one off to Swift. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. They call it a loss of a yard there. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Let's take it inside his own 40. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. Time to see this wide-open Baltimore offense go to work, and leading them, pretty darn good one. Lamar Jackson out of Louisville.
Before the game, when I said hello to him, I tried to give him a little dap, but he wouldn't give me any, and I thought he was snubbing me. But then I realized he's keeping all that flame to himself. How about the week he had last week? AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Fighting him off, and he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. An opening there on that first down run as he gets his forward for about 8 or 9. That looks to be 8 officially, so 2nd and 2. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 8 carries, 111 yards.
Well, he's the number 2 runner in the league, and you just know the offensive line wants to get him to number 1 because most of the good ball carriers, they take care of their linemen. It could be a gold watch in their future if he becomes a leading rusher.
And down inside the 15 he goes.
Well, I can certainly tell my age, partner, because when I was a kid, running backs like J.K. Dobbins with over 2,000 yards in their final season in college, they went early in the draft. Instead, he somehow lasted until the 2nd round. But how great is it to get a guy with that ability who can run it inside, run to the perimeter, and catch the football in the backfield? To be able to get him in the 2nd round, that's what I call a steal.
And that'll be taken in by Andrews for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews there to make the grab. And the Ravens will add on to their lead. Both sides of the football in sync early. You force the 3 and out, and then you take it down, score points.
You know what that tells me? They sold their game plan really well. Head coach said, listen, we're just going to stop them on 3 and out. We're going to take the ball downfield and score. But he also told them how it was going to happen. They're going to run this. We're going to stuff it. And we're going to take the ball. They won't be able to keep up with us. And they got it done.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Back onto the field come the Lions for their 2nd overall drive. They find themselves in a good-size hole here, and a good-size hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. They'll start on the ground with Swift. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The numbers for him from a week ago: 16 carries, 75 yards.
I can't remember the last time we did a game and a coach didn't talk about establishing the run first. But they've lost 2 straight games, so they still want to do that. But they've got to have some contingencies, some other options. Expect them maybe to throw it a little bit to open up things and maybe run it a little bit more later in the game.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Shotgun snap now for Kaepernick. They'll find Williams on the slant. And he is going to have the Lions 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed 1st down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave it with a 2nd and 3. Here's a handoff to Swift. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on third. Kaepernick going to throw. And that is incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away. It'll be a 40-yard punt, 8 on the return, and the Ravens, they'll take over. And the football back over to Baltimore and J.K. Dobbins. Last week, over 100 yards, 3 touchdowns. We were talking with him on the field before the game. He said simply, I was in a groove. He obviously was.
And I think he's been a little modest about that, being in a groove. That's a big-time game right there. And I think he feels like his entire team is coming along with him because they're creating spaces and holes for him to run through. He's making people miss, running through tackles. They are locked in a big way and confident about this game as well.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. He's going to rifle one deep left side. A leap, and he's got it. He got it. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
So 3 plays, already first and goal, and they are wasting little time. Now it's Jackson. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Jalen Waddle there, but it'll be second and goal. Now, Charles, we take a peek there at the recent draft class, and it's definitely a year where they had a chance to greatly improve this team.
And you've got to take advantage when you have this type of an opportunity. 2 first-round picks, you better scout them well and hit on those selections.
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, second and goal. From the gun, Jackson. Right back to Waddle, and this time he's got it. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Big play coming here. It's third and goal. They'll try to run with Dobbins. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth. The offense stays out there. A big challenge here from this far back, but they're going for it on fourth and goal. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And in for the Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Ravens will extend their lead. Well, I don't think that we're ready yet to say the route is on, but they have certainly looked near flawless here this first half, and now an extra point away from making it 21-0.
Yeah, and your experience led you to say that because we have both seen those 21-0 leads come and go in this league. But this one feels pretty darn secure, and here's the other part. Even when people chip away at it, it forces you into being almost perfect on the other side, doesn't it, in order to try and mount a comeback. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Time for another look at this Lions offense. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Here's 2nd and 10. We saw a lot of that a week ago defensively from him. AFC Defensive Player of the Week. Just always seems to be around the football.
I like your observation there. Understands the game, understands positioning, can put himself in the right spot, and then make a play on the football.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
And a fresh start for DeAndre Swift and his teammates with this brand-new coaching staff. And they believe he can be a 3-down back. They want to get him in space against linebackers. 46 catches his rookie year. They expect that number to get into the 60s.
And he will not only not get the yard he needed, he goes the wrong direction. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped him, bringing up 4th down.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. This is taken at the 23. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So here are the Ravens to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And he's got Rome. Able to slither by. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And hang on, we got an injury. And that's DK Metcalf. The wide receiver yet to get back to his feet. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Now Jackson. He'll have a 1st down inside the 10. Touchdown! Rashad Bateman, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Ravens are able to widen their lead here in this first half. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
Tucker with the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Kaepernick now to throw. That's taken in, complete to Reynolds. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into it.
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Ed Oliver, that time the one to get in there and bring him down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if I'm going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. That's taken it around the 40. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. With the football back over to Baltimore and J.K. Dobbins. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Throwing again on 2nd down. Jackson is going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. A big connection on that one. 33 yards.
You get a rookie tight end who can run like this, it just gives this offense a different dimension than they've had. It's going to be fun to watch his development and how this offense expands as this season moves along.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. They'll try to run it in with Murray. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Latavius Murray taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Ravens open the lead up to 34-0. So this now 34-0 with the extra point pending. And Charles, I thought these guys might have the advantage coming in, but I didn't expect this.
Well, I'm glad we're going with full transparency here, because I didn't either. I thought we might be looking at a 24-20 type game, maybe 13-10 at the half. But this has been total, utter domination.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This fielded right at the goal line. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee, as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. DeAndre Swift heading back out with his Detroit teammates. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you get a chance to come.
And he's going to go down. It's a sack on Kaepernick. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up 3rd down.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. On 3rd down, here comes Swift. And he's able to get this one up to the 8-yard line this time. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here comes the Lions punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. And how about the start so far, Charles? 3 first-half touchdown passes.
And that's how you generate excitement on a team. Keep your offense moving at a really high level. And it's also how you establish leadership by playing that well. 3 touchdown passes. That's the way to lead.
Now he's just open for number 4. And incomplete, he dropped it. Maybe a rookie mistake there. 2nd down. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
On 3rd down, Jackson trying to lay one up deep. And this is caught inside the 5. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Jalen Waddle, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Ravens have taken a 6-touchdown lead.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Let's see now what Colin Kaepernick has been up to so far in this game. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Ravens out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Time to give you folks at home a look around the NFL on this first official weekend of fall. So let's get to it. We'll start with one of the toughest rivalries of this or any other week. Pittsburgh playing host to Cincinnati in the AFC North. And it's the Steelers out in front in the second quarter. Chase Claypool, a touchdown reception. From there, we'll stay in the AFC North and head over to Cleveland to check on the Browns. And they've got the lead over the visiting Chicago Bears. Baker Mayfield with a couple of touchdown passes. Finally, let's get to the country music capital of the world and see what's happening with the Titans at home in Nashville. And you can see there it's the visiting Colts who have the lead in that one. Carson Wentz with a touchdown pass there. In the game you're watching, we've seen a strong first half out of Lamar Jackson. His guys have just about put this one on ice already. As for the call of the second half, we turn things back over to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. play going to sit on this in the end zone, so it'll come out to the 25. The Raven offense set to start this third quarter. The last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this was just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats?
Who?
You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the road
true.
to be fairly clear
that is
by the
one
time
positive.
we have to leave the booth.
A run there on first down going nowhere as he stopped right at the 25. Now, after that last running play, we've got an offensive lineman down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Second and 10. Another run here with Dobbins. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
So 3rd and 5, defensively expecting pass. They've got 6 DBs out there. Jackson. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. They've got his man complete.
Get off
And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. DK Metcalf, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Ravens come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
Tucker with the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Eluding the pressure right. Kaepernick hit. Fumble. He lost the football. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now it's the backup Goff. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Goff now looking to throw. And that's out to the flat for Swift. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Here's Goff. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Justin Houston in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint, as that is sack number 100 in what has certainly been a terrific career to this point. Here comes the Lions punter now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Found good room to run there, returns it 14 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Well, here, drive after drive, they really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just given him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent is really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
Yeah, now they're just looking to add to that total. 74 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
When they put the ball in J.K. Dobbins' chest and he carries it, he runs with a lot of determination and aggressiveness. Just one start last year as a rookie, but still managed 805 yards and 9 touchdowns. I think he's ready for a big year 2 leap. Now the lead runner for the Baltimore Ravens.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Here's a give to Dobbins. Able to push his way through. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. And now Jackson will look to throw it. And that'll be caught by the big tight end, Andrews. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Call that a gain of 5 as the clock ticks inside of 2 minutes to go now in the 3rd.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
And he's got his tight end. That's Andrews. And in for the Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Ravens continue to pour it on.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that. Truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This taken in at the goal line. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Right back to Swift again on second down. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. To throw is Goff. And the Ravens pressure too much. Down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. So possession goes over here on the punt. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to...
And this is caught. Touchdown. DK Metcalf. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Ravens get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Tucker with the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. Taken at the goal line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Goff. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
That's an excellent play by the defender. He diagnosed that one, closed quickly, and helped force the incompletion.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now Goff. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. He'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Oh, it's a safety. Goff got buried in the end zone. He couldn't get rid of it. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. Baltimore with good starting field position as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Now a handoff for Dobbins. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. On 2nd and 12, Jackson. Flushed out right. Room to run inside the 40. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, 52 yards. And the Ravens are closing in on a 3rd straight victory to start the campaign. Well, we've certainly seen this before, CD. No one can quite electrify a crowd like Lamar Jackson, and really don't know what else to say other than that was special right there.
I think you pretty much said it all, but I go back to what you said about electrifying a crowd. He's also electrifying us, and we're calling the game. This guy's... sensational.
It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. To throw, it's Kaepernick. He's got his tight end over the middle, T.J. Hockenson.
This game just keeps evolving and changing, doesn't it? You got a tight end who can move around a lot, not necessarily using a big body on him. Sometimes you take a corner, a better cover guy, and put him on him and try and take him out of the game as we've seen in this one.
You're exactly right. They've taken him out of the game. That was just his first catch. Big reason they're losing right now. On 1st down, Kaepernick. Complete to Bryant. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Being chased out, and the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
The Lions on 3rd down. A very anemic 1 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Kaepernick hit. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the 4th quarter here, and now this happens, another turnover. Not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting on 0. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Big hole up the middle. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. J.K. Dobbins with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Ravens are closing in on a third straight win as they widen the gap further here in the fourth quarter. They seemingly just continue to score at will, and as great as it's been for the offense, you got to feel for that defense down there.
I love how you use the word will, because both teams came into the game with the will to win, but one team has obviously imposed its will on the other and broken them. Because what we're seeing right now, wow, that's a defense that's in tatters after what they faced in this ball game.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Taking it about the 1. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. And Detroit back in possession of the football. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Throwing on first down is Kaepernick. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Johnson. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Tucker now for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Detroit's offense ready to take over. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick 6 put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Now Kaepernick to try again here after the pick 6. He'll get this off to Swift. It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Now that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on first down. They're ahead of the chains now.
Now Kaepernick. And that's going to be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
The Lions on 3rd down. Not getting the job done at all. A very poor 1 for 10. This will be 3rd and 5. Now Kaepernick. Man open. It's St. Brown. He's got it. And he is going to have a Lions first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. On 1st and 10, here's Kaepernick. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Reynolds. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down. Kaepernick to throw again. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him, but after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Here comes the Lions punter now as he's on to kick it away. A very good punt, but a 16-yard return. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. They're looking at a 3rd straight win here if they can hold on. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. He's going to air one out. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Now it's Jackson. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. A fight for it, and this is caught. It's caught indeed. It's a big play there for Baltimore.
Even with the big lead here in the fourth, it still bombs away, and frankly, it's working. Why should they stop? Go ahead and keep firing away and gaining those yards.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Jackson. That's complete to his receiver, Bateman. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They'll run with Dobbins, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. 5 plays there on that drive. And it's finished off by a touchdown run from J.K. Dobbins. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he's going to be out of bounds here right at the 20-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. Back to the air on second down. It's Kaepernick. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Here's 3rd and long. Kaepernick needing a big play to counteract the sack. They're going to look to throw. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. Here comes the Lions punter now, standing just outside his own goal line. That'll be a 41-yard punt, 4 yards there on the return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit triple zeros. Oh, Jackson's going to throw it. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And this is caught inside the 5. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play. So it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Baltimore, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Mile High to take on the Broncos.
This player has a zone ability. This is a powerful ability that can be activated when...
today. From Empower Field at Mile High in Denver, it's Week 4 of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Teddy Bridgewater and the Denver Broncos taking on Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us at the foot of the Rockies, just west of downtown Denver at Empower Field at Mile High. Just a short time ago, sounds loud enough to reverberate across the Rockies. They're ready for football in Denver as the Broncos get set to do battle with the Baltimore Ravens. And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. The Ravens offense set to take over and led by a man still just in his 4th season in the NFL, the 2019 MVP, Lamar Jackson.
And he's been playing at an elite level here in this early half of the season. Tops in the league in touchdown passes at this point. This is definitely a wide-open offense, so we'll see if he can keep his string of good games going right here.
First and 10, it's Jackson. Got him, man. It's the rookie Jalen Waddle. Past the 20.
Don't worry about it, baby.
And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Jalen Waddle with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Ravens have taken the early lead. Wow, first play of the game, CD, 75 yards. These people, they haven't even filed in yet from the tailgate lots.
Everyone talks about starting out fast. Everyone talks about getting explosive type plays. That was absolutely a thunderbolt. And on the defensive side, you spent all week scheming, all week preparing, and it seems like it goes right out the window.
With the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Denver offense ready to take over for the first time. Get a look at their 8th-year quarterback. His first season as a Bronco, though, Teddy Bridgewater.
And the tendency for most of these guys is to want to match things right away because they have a lot of confidence in their talent too. They just saw a big strike against their team, and you know they're thinking to themselves, I can get this back right now on one play. Well, if it's there, you take it, but otherwise, just go ahead and calm your team down. Run the offense, get things going, and see how things settle in.
The numbers a week ago from Melvin Gordon. 20 carries, 66 yards, and a touchdown.
And I'm eager to see how they deploy him in this game. Last week, a heavy workload. Do they decide to bring that down a little bit and try and keep him fresh? Or do they say, guess what? He's locked in. Keep handing him the football.
Bridgewater's throw taken in here by Patrick. And they're able to get this one across the 35. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
A gain of 6 there on first. Well, this defense for the Ravens, they were terrific a week ago in that win over Detroit.
Even better than that, they pitched a shutout in that game, and I'm telling you, trust me on this one, that's a confidence builder for the rest of the season. When you get a defense that puts together a performance like that this early in the year, well, that sends notice to the rest of the NFL and spreads confidence throughout the locker room that they're going to be a force to be reckoned with.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
And if Noah Fant keeps making catches like that, it might not be too long till we say he's one of the top 5 tight ends in football. When he was drafted, that was the expectation.
Now Gordon on first down. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Adafe Owe able to record his 5th sack of the season.
For a rookie first-rounder, he's made a huge impact on this defense, but that tells me that they had a plan for him when they drafted him. Just turn him loose, do what you do best, go get the quarterback.
3rd and long now after the sack, and we'll see if Bridgewater has a response. Now back to throw. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted, thrown back across his body. Picked up by Patrick Queen, and he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
The 20, 10, and all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, 43 yards. And the Ravens are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. They've got to be thrilled on the road right now. Touchdown, turnover, touchdown, and quickly trying to make it 14-0.
Yeah, and mentioned it already. On the road, to be able to go into someone else's house and establish a start like that, obviously your confidence rises in a big way, and you're putting some doubt in their minds.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This taken in at the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Teddy Bridgewater and the Broncos ready to go on offense. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I'll guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
Nowadays, quarterbacks don't mind throwing into coverage because of the confidence they have in their receivers to come down with the ball. But sometimes you have to be careful you don't get too confident and throw an interception.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. And down he goes. The pressure getting to Bridgewater. Call it a loss loss of 4 there on the sack. And speaking of the number 4, it brings up 4th down now.
On 4th down, Joseph Charlton on to punt.
Back to return it, Christian McCaffrey. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Taken right around the 44. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. So here are the Ravens to take over on offense. They're on a 3-game winning streak and right now looking good in this one as well. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Oh, he breaks a tackle, and he's got an alley. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
That one almost intercepted, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be 2nd down.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Quick target here, complete to Metcalf. And the Ravens are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line. It looks like a jumbo set with 3 tight ends here for 1st and goal. They'll try to run with Dobbins.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown.
J.K. Dobbins.
His 9th touchdown of the season as the Ravens push further out in front.
But just power football there down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible. But all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
Now Tucker to add the PAT. It's good, and before you know it, it's 21-0. So that drive spanned 5 plays.
And it's finished off by a touchdown run from J.K. Dobbins. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. K.J. Hamler returning it. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it on the first drive.
Punt's better than turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn it into first downs and hopefully points.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great. Because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the
under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down. $21-0 our score after 1. after the sack. They'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Sutton reeling it in on the left side. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the first down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, they got the safe completion on 3rd. And here's Joseph Charlton now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. It's fielded at the 45. And all the way down to the 12. Now after the punt on that play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. They'll run. It's Dobbins. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. J.K. Dobbins with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Ravens are able to add on to their first half lead. Well, you talk about a team coming into an opposing stadium and just taking the life right out of a crowd. That's what we're witnessing here. 27-0, Charles.
And this defense, they've just looked completely unprepared for what's been thrown at them. And you know they're supposed to adjust series to series. That has not happened for them, so I don't think halftime adjustments are going to help a heck of a lot. They are in major trouble unless they figure out something really fast.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Hamler now to return it. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Time to take a glance into what we've seen so far from Teddy Bridgewater. And this defense, they came prepared. He's probably going to be seeing them in his sleep if they don't fix things quickly.
And that's not exactly what he wants to see in his post-game slumber. So they've got to figure out a way to slow things down a little bit. Some screen passes, some draws, anything to make the defensive front hesitate a little bit. Think on their way back to the quarterback, maybe even a quarterback draw, some type of tendency breaker to change things up.
Exactly. Whatever the case, something to mix it up here.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
They'll try again from the 20 on 2nd and 10. From the gun, Bridgewater. Throw to the right here to Gordon. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14.
Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
The Broncos on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 14. Bridgewater.
Looking for Judy, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey.
And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. That pick 6 extending this lead even further. And boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the 3rd quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the 2nd half.
Tucker now to add the point after. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away.
Taken at the goal line.
And he'll be out of bounds here just past the 20-yard line. Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. With that field position after the return wasn't terrific. It's not a great starting field position as well.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
Here's Bridgewater. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's 2nd down.
So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Bridgewater. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
The Broncos on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Bridgewater to throw. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. And that'll bring up 4th down on the big sack with a loss of 5.
Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away.
That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The football back over to Baltimore and J.K. Dobbins. First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this strong, that means that you have planned for it and you like the results that you're getting. So I wouldn't have any doubt that the head coach, offensive coordinator, actually called in.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Jalen Waddle with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Ravens have taken a 6-touchdown lead.
Okay, we need to double check here with Marvin because he keeps all of our good stats. But what I've got is 5 drives, 5 touchdowns, and they've got a nice, healthy lead.
Well, after the first drive, we thought things might be clicking. They're really clicking at this point. They're clicking about as much as they can click.
And right
I just said click a lot.
Yes, you did, but that's okay because the guy who's coordinating the defense, trying to slow them down,
good luck.
He's going to have hair that looks like mine very soon. Not much of it.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This fielded right at the goal line. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Now Cortland Sutton and the rest of the offense getting ready for their next drive. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us, but sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. First down, Bridgewater. And this one too low. He was looking for Tim Patrick that time, and that'll bring up second down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Oh, Bridgewater intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them, and they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
On first down, Dobbins. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. 47 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. That time a little misdirection really seemed to fool the defense.
And think of it this way. From the time you're in high school, you're taught to watch film and pick up tendencies. Sometimes they can use those against you, though, when they break their own tendencies and hit you back the opposite direction, huh?
Now a first carry for their fullback. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal.
The end result was brute force on brute force, but think about everything that's going on if you're playing defensive tackle. You're dealing with at least one blocker across from you, trying to deal with him, shed him, and maybe even a second one before you have to try and make the tackle on the big guy.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Latavius Murray, his 2nd touchdown on the season, and the Ravens add on. And nothing special there. They show they were going to run the football. They ran it. They got it in.
Like old-time football, right? Hey, this is exactly what we're going to do. Straight-ahead power, and they got it done.
Tucker now for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it culminates with a Latavius Murray touchdown run. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. Getting set to go again here, Teddy Bridgewater coming back onto the field. He struggled. His team has struggled. You talked to me a lot about looking to your leaders. Maybe it's time for him to put his mark on this game.
Agreed. And how that has to happen is somehow he's got to flush out everything that's happened so far and almost start over and get back to that confident level and know that he can play the game, because so far this has been a real struggle.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got the interceptions, trying to turn it around. They'll start on the ground. This is Gordon on first down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Got a man, it's Judy, complete. And he will have a Broncos first down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And that'll make it 2nd and 10. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. And again, it's Bridgewater. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. The Broncos send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And take it right on the 30. A good return there, 17 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The football back over to Baltimore and J.K. Dobbins. He's over 40 yards here in the 2nd quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. To throw is Jackson. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. DK Metcalf. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Ravens continue to pour it on.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow, because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Now Tucker to add the PAT. And the route is on here in this first half. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. 1 play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Hamler now to return it. And he will make it back to the 15, and that's it. Good coverage there by the kick team. The Broncos and Cortland Sutton heading back out there. A chance maybe here for them to get him more involved. They're down here on the scoreboard, and he's been very quiet.
And the silence has been deafening for his team. They don't need that at all. They need fireworks. They need explosive plays. They need him touching the football in any way possible. Maybe go to some jet sweep. Anything to get him going.
Yeah, something to get him the ball. We'll see if they can do it. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. To throw again on second down. Bridgewater. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
You definitely won't like to hit on that one because now you've got a 3rd and long showing up, and you just know defense is going to be getting after it. They are pinning their ears back, and they are coming.
On 3rd down, this is Melvin Gordon. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. The Broncos send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. This is caught. And in for the Ravens touchdown. Kyle Pitts as the first half is winding down. And the Ravens will extend their lead here just before halftime.
Did you see how the linebackers froze for just a second? That's why you run play action. You want to keep them rooted in the spot and create a little bit of extra space so your tight end can find some room behind them. And then the quarterback finds his target downfield, and he turns it into 6 points.
Tucker with the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. A nice tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they'll take over with just 16 ticks remaining before intermission. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now Bridgewater. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Patrick Queen. And he's giving his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. Well, Charles, you know, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
After the interception, here's Jackson. Forced out to his left. The quick feet by Jackson. And with a clock reading zeros, he is into the end zone. What an exclamation mark to the end of this second quarter.
Indeed. Indeed.
Tucker now to add the point after. And the route is on here in this first half. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Ravens out in front. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, let's take a look around the NFL here on this first Sunday of October. We begin with a classic NFL matchup. Maybe the best of the entire weekend. Pittsburgh traveling to Lambeau to take on Green Bay. And it's the Packers who are out in front in the second quarter. Devontae Adams, a touchdown reception. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And they were losers in that game as they fall to the visiting Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes, sharp in the victory as his guys bounce back from a tough start to the year to claim victory number 1. Lastly, let's head to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. See what's happening with the Bengals. And it was the visiting Jacksonville Jaguars that go home with the victory. Trevor Lawrence, excellent in the victory as his guys move to 3-1 after 4 games. In the game you're watching, we've seen a strong first half out of Lamar Jackson. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
It'll be the Broncos getting the football first in this second half as they trail, and we are back underway. This taken in at the goal line. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw, Bridgewater. And the ball is knocked out. But it looked like, fortunately, the Broncos able to recover. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down. They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon. And Gordon's going to be stopped short. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. The Broncos send out their punter now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
You know, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them. Every move they make works. It clicks.
Touchdown! Jalen Waddle, 65 yards. And the Ravens add on. This offense, they were dynamic in the first half. The halftime break, that didn't slow them down at all. Big strike here in the third quarter.
It's almost as if they were saying, it's not just our skill in the first half that's getting this done, it's confidence as well. And confidence has taken over this game in a big way. How about these strikes that we're seeing?
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. Those are the kind of drop. They like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. One play drive and into the end zone for 6. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Taken at the goal line. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator.
And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
Now a 10th carry for Melvin Gordon. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
And he's able to get this one up to the 8-yard line this time. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down. The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. Now a fair catch taken, maybe a yard or 2 shy of midfield. 36 yards on the punt with no return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1 play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1 play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was really easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Now a man whose father won 2 rings as a Bronco. It's Christian McCaffrey. And he'll slice his way down to the 30 with a pickup of 7. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Jackson from the shotgun. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
The heavy set out there. 3 tight ends in the formation for 3rd and 3. They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. Gets around him.
And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver.
Listen up! Mike's 47. Mike's 47. Ready?
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens continue to pour it on. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football.
Yeah,
what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. Tucker with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's finished off by a touchdown run from J.K. Dobbins. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This fielded right at the goal line. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped it to 14.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
A 3rd down now, and those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey, and he'll get this back down to about the 12-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
They'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. J.K. Dobbins. A 12-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens have used the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Well, they got the ball in great field position. 1 play later, boom, end zone. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back. Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Bridgewater now. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
3rd and long now after the sack, and we'll see if Bridgewater has a response. Back near the goal line, Bridgewater. That's complete to the tight end, Saubert. And he's going to be out of bounds up past the 5. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. The Broncos send out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. And taken at the 46. Ooh, the juke. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, D. 47's the mic. 47's the mic. Check back, check back. Hey, check mic 47. Check mic 47. Coming in, coming in.
Now Jackson. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Kyle Pitts with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Ravens are about to make it 4 straight as they add to this 4th quarter advantage. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Tucker with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra-quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just 1 play resulting in the touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This taken in at the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Denver's offense now set to go. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Hey, check back, 6.
They'll start the drive with a run by Gordon. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Throwing is Bridgewater. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Calais Campbell. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
And you could say that is just another cherry on top for this defense and that entire team. But really, this defense has sparked what's been an impressive effort here in this one.
And I notice you used the word sparked because you're not seeing that on the other side of the ball, are you? The offense right now, the spark has left their game, and it's been because of what you described, that defensive pressure.
Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
37 yards on the punt with no return.
And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession.
And it would seem as if their 3-game winning streak is about to go to 4, but still a little work to do as they start 1st and 10.
Mike's 47. Man, I got you. Seven's the mic, folks. Seven's the mic.
They go play action with Jackson. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. DK Metcalf. His 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game.
And the Ravens are going to be moving to 4-0 as they extend their lead.
As that lead just swells and swells. Look, this has been dominance in all 3 phases. Offense, defense. And special teams.
So don't we have to give a lot of credit, not just to what we've seen today, but the preparation in advance, coaching staff, commitment by the players to the game plan, and being ready to go in this one? You're exactly right. Clean sweep. And, boy, they're going to celebrate this one after it's over.
And on the other side, this is the game film you just flush and never go back and review. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Denver's offense ready to go again.
And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off.
They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. Bridgewater now for Gordon on the draw.
And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. They'll say no gain on the play, so it was looking good, but nothing there, and now it's 3rd down and inches. Oh, it's a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and inches.
Still want to be prepared for a pass.
Throwing, Bridgewater. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football. He's taken down. And
Drops him for a 4-yard loss there, and that brings up 4th down. The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
Now Dobbins again on 2nd down. It's a 1st down and more for Dobbins. And running with power here. And he takes it all the way down to the 15. 135 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
On 1st down, Murray. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. And they'll try to pound it in with Ricard. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Starting to really smell a 4-0 start right now. Yeah, can't ask for a better 1st quarter of the season than that.
And you're not supposed to look ahead, but guess what?
You're going to?
They have to, because when you get to if you get to 4-0, you're not just thinking playoffs now. You're thinking about, okay, this team has the capabilities of winning a Super Bowl. They could very well be the best team in the NFL at this moment.
I think they played the best. I mean, there have been a few hiccups offensively and defensively, but probably the best team we've seen, right?
And has the ability to get better.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. And the football going back over to the Denver Broncos. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Ed Oliver able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, that's just football 101. If you're out of the pocket, you've got to get rid of the football in this situation. You cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
Second and 16.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home.
Another try after the 1st down sack. Bridgewater over the middle, complete. That's Sutton. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up the 3rd down.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on 1st down. They didn't get all of it back, But now they look at third down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
Bridgewater from the gun on third down. Outright, this one goes to Patrick. And he will have the Broncos first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Here's Bridgewater. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Odafe Owe. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. 3rd and long now after the sack, and we'll see if Bridgewater has a response. They'll set up a throw. That's out to the flag for Gordon. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just 1 kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation.
He's got a man complete. And he takes this in the red zone all the way inside Denver's 15. A big play that time through the air. 56 yards. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Ravens, that early momentum continues here as they move to 4-0. And they'll return home next week to take on the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Heinz Field to take on the Steelers. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
This player's development trait is hidden. Put him in your lineup and evaluate him on...